It starts with a beep as you scan your phone. A green light flashes, a digital nod of virtue. The gate opens because your phone told it to. Once the state said you're okay. One scan to prove who you are, another to pay, another to pass. Every day the code works until one day it doesn't. The screen flashes red because now you're a pariah. All of your access is denied. There's no attendant to plead with. A phone call yields an endless loop of robotic options leading nowhere. A system taunts you, maybe even drives you to madness because it decided based on your beliefs, your values, what you stand for, that you no longer exist. That's where our future is heading, and it's arriving faster than anyone expects.
We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweigh the dangers which are cited to justify it.
Governments, institutions, and technocracies call it modernization. They sell it as convenience. Together, they're building a world where your identity no longer belongs to you. They own it, you lease it. Each QR code, each digital pass, each tap to verify is another small surrender. Harmless alone, even extraordinarily convenient, but dangerous in sequence, especially when tracked and recorded. First it's policy, then it's habit, and finally everyone shrugs. That's just how it is. That's how every system of control begins. I've watched it creep in quietly, but I've felt it too. That sting when a screen replaces a person. The bank teller who looks past you because the phone didn't verify. The airline clerk who still can't print a ticket but tells you to use the app. And if you don't, you're sprinting to a kiosk while the line boards without you. The pharmacy that stops calling your name and sends a text instead. A message that never feels like care. Bit by bit, the code decides who can move, buy, and heal. It decides whose name still matters enough to say out loud. And almost no one noticed we traded belonging for access. If that sounds exaggerated, watch what happens to one ordinary family.
This little device, and he's like, he asked for my mobile phone. He's like, where's your mobile phone or something? And I said, I don't have a phone. And then he got angry.
He got really angry.
He like blew up. He says, how'd you get a notification? How'd you get an email without a phone? I said, on a computer.
He had an ID. He had the receipt. What he didn't have was a phone, the modern ticket to legitimacy. Proof of identity wasn't enough. Possession of the device was. That's the new perimeter of permission. Not who you are, but what you carry. The tool that was supposed to connect us has become the gate that filters us. A simple pickup turned into an interrogation, not by policy, but by disbelief. The clerk couldn't process the idea that someone might not own a phone. His voice rose as if the absence of a device were a threat to order itself. That's the quiet cruelty of this new normal. When an employee just following the system looks at a customer and sees a liar instead of a person, the assumption isn't that technology serves us anymore. It's that we exist to serve it. Behind every friendly beep of a QR code is something colder, a database quietly filling with the details of your life. Every scan is time-stamped, geolocated, and sold forward, feeding the identity brokers that governments quietly depend on. They call it a trust framework. But trust in what? In a system where your rights can be revoked faster than a refund? Where an algorithm can decide in a fraction of a second whether you still deserve to pass. Once identification confirmed your existence, now identity itself has become the toll you pay just to exist at all. 19 states adopt mobile driver's licenses by late 2025. 70 million federally verified digital IDs. Global digital identity market surges past 50 billion, headed for 80 billion by 2030. These aren't pilot programs or distant plans. They're production lines already running. What was once sold as convenience has become infrastructure. And infrastructure never asks for permission. It just expands until refusal feels impossible. The digital ID isn't coming. It's here, baked into the walls of daily life. Each new enrollment tightens the weave. Each new adopter makes dissent look unreasonable. Because in this new order, the question isn't, who are you? It's, why don't you belong? Today, the network still looks harmless. A tangle of apps and logins, each pretending to be separate. That fragmentation feels safe, even comforting, because it hides the pattern underneath. But patterns always converge, and the next update won't just simplify your life. It will fuse it. One wallet, one standard, one switch. You'll be told it's progress, that it's finally streamlined. And after all, who doesn't want to ditch the passwords? How convenient it will feel to flash one code that opens every door. But convenience has always been the bait. They create the problem, then sell you the solution. A solution that never frees you, only binds you tighter. And when the grid finally unifies, opting out won't look brave anymore. It will look criminal. You can hear it everywhere now. The same polite, synthetic voice, calm and absolute. Bank login. Enter code sent to your mobile. Prescription pickup. App verification failed. Flight gate. Mobile ID only. Job application. Authenticator app expired. The same tone, the same command everywhere. Your name doesn't matter. Your password doesn't matter. Your license, your birth date, your history, none of it matters without the chip in your pocket. Every place that once said, welcome, now says, prove it. And every proof leads back to the same device, the one you bought, the one they control. Convenience was supposed to make life easier. Instead, it has become the leash that keeps you obedient, dressed up as efficiency, enforced as inevitability. Every verification ping is a transaction, a silent toll collected each time you prove who you are. Once trust was free, now it bills by the second. A parasitic web of corporations takes its cut from every heartbeat of modern life. A fee for entry, a fee for existence. Your identity has become a subscription plan. You verify, they profit. The more friction they invent, the more security solutions they can sell back to you. Citizenship used to mean belonging. Now it's a paid feature, renewed annually through obedience. They sold you safety, but what they really bought was you. Once the majority lives by the scan, the unscanned become ghosts. No phone, no profile, no trust score. The system doesn't see you, and what it can't see, it fears. Absence becomes suspicion. They won't need to outlaw refusal. They'll simply make life unlivable without compliance. Try to buy to travel to work. Every door asks for a code you refuse to carry. And behind each locked gate, the same quiet judgment. If you have nothing to hide, why won't you just scan? We're watching that shift right now, from persuasion to pressure, from pressure to punishment, happening quietly at the register, the border, the login screen. I've seen this pattern before. The tools change, but the psychology never does. Every crisis becomes a classroom for control. During lockdowns, it was passes and permissions, papers, QR codes for your safety. Then came the banks demanding new scans, new proofs, new photos of our faces. Each wave promised to be temporary, and every one of them stayed. That's the trick. Technology never surrenders power once it's tasted it. It doesn't forget how to watch you, it just learns to watch better. And each update arrives with a smile, whispering the same lie every empire tells. This time it's different. For now, the grid is still imperfect, tangled, competing, full of seams and contradictions. That chaos is our last mercy. While systems fight for dominance, people can still slip between them, unnoticed, unscanned, free for one more moment. But every update patches a hole, not just a security flaw, but a doorway where freedom still leaks through. Every merger seals another crack. And when the code finally clicks into place, when the grid speaks with one voice, there will be no gaps left to hide in. What escapes won't be citizens anymore. It will be shadows, ghosts of the free world we used to be. The way forward isn't rebellion through violence, and it isn't blind trust in the systems tightening around us. It's peaceful resistance, reclaiming choice in a world that keeps trying to automate it. Use technology, but on your terms. Keep the notes app for what doesn't matter, and a notebook for what still should. Pay in cash when you can. Support the local, the human, the face-to-face. Every time you choose the harder, more deliberate path, you remind the system it doesn't own you. You remind yourself that connection doesn't require compliance. Freedom doesn't vanish overnight. It fades when we stop practicing it, when we forget it's a skill. They promised us safety. They promised us convenience, and we believed them, because fear and comfort are the oldest currencies of control. But safety has become the master key that unlocks every boundary, every wall of privacy, every line between public and personal. The danger was never the technology itself. It's the obedience it teaches. The reflex to scan first, think later. The habit of saying yes before you even know the question. And the day the grid decides that trust equals possession, that the only citizens worth keeping are the ones it can track, every human without a handset will wake up a foreigner in their own country. No phone, no pass, no place. No phone, no service, just the beta test of a world where no code means no life.
We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweigh the dangers which are cited to justify it.